monetary gain. It's stupid. They only serve to muddy the waters every time they pop they dumb heads up and say it's the black man's fault that the white man or the white woman is racist. Does that make any sense to you? So let me continue on. See, white racists say things like this, and this is very recent. So let me go ahead and drop this little gem on you. And this is from a blogger, a racist blogger. Slavery is over. How long does it take to get your fucking act together? You didn't suffer through slavery. You know you should be kissing the white man's ass for bringing you people to America. Where would you be if slavery didn't exist? Africa? The mecca of fucking HIV? Poverty flies in your face? Piss and shit in the rivers? Ugliest women on the planet? And genocide? Kiss my fucking white ass, you spoiled little bitches. Your life would suck so fucking bad if not for slavery. So fuck off, laugh out loud. You see that? That's a white racist. He wants you to give them a cookie, a smile, and a thank you. Can you believe that? For slavery. For lynchings, murders, killings, forcing you to work for no pay, selling your children, your wife, your husband to different farmers, different plantation owners, different Mazzas, for you having to run for your life. He wants you to thank him for that. They want you to thank them for effing up Africa. Because I can tell you one thing for sure. Every genocide over in Africa originated from white people. And that's just the truth. So live with it. See, my mind is too strong to be convinced that is my fault. That the N-word is my fault when it was created by white racists. See, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, they've lost sight of that because they're confused. You may want to just stop commentating. I'm hitting you hard for a reason. Think about that. So, anyway, I'm going to tell y'all straight up. It does not matter what you do. You can put on a suit. You can straighten your hair. You can speak perfect English. You can graduate Harvard or Yale. You can put a weave in your hair. You can be a professor at either one of those universities. You can die for this country. You can put blue contacts in your eyes. You can put blonde hair in your weave. You can become president of the United States. It does not matter. They will still depict you with a bone in your nose because they are racist. And I will say again, stop letting them dictate the terms of racism. Stop letting them dictate the terms of what you should be offended by. Al Sharpton, Jesse, and the rest of them like them want white people to dictate the terms to what offends you as a black person. They want to give them controlling ownership of the black rule book. Does that make any sense to you? Now, let me move on again. And let's go to terms. Because a lot of y'all don't realize what terms mean. So, I'm going to start this way. Property, and that means land, as well as what you build on it. Term 1, you buy the land at price. You pay the taxes on the land and build what you want, and you pay taxes on that. Now that's just an outright buy, and you do what you want with the land. Now, term 2. Now, this is a negotiation between the landowner and you, the purchaser. You buy the land. Their terms is that you're going to buy the land at a deal price. 50% of what the land is worth, but the original landowner wants 10% of the profit off of whatever you build for the next 20 years. This is an okay deal. There's nothing wrong with the deal. They just want 10%. You can not build anything until on your 21st year, or you can build now, make sure they get 10%. It's no big deal. No big deal. But term 3, This is how white people negotiate. This is how white people negotiate racism. And this is what all these black people, all you malls, is falling for. Term 3, you buy the landed price. You pay your taxes. You build what you want. And it's the most amazing house. Some would call it even an estate. You got yourself a pool. You got your house. You got a 4-car garage. You got a winding road that leads up to the house. You even got lampposts all the way there. You got an arboretum. You got a palatial backyard that looks out onto a creek or New York City or Chicago or wherever have you. You got all that awesome stuff. You even got a pool. You got everything people could possibly want. Hot tubs, jacuzzis, whatever. Tennis court, basketball court. It is awesome. It's even 3 stories high. And trees, you even got apple trees. Everything. It's just wonderful. And so it's worth about $700,000. Somehow you struck the best deal in the world to pay taxes on a $700,000 piece of real estate. You done well for yourself, black person. But 2 years after the house is built, 2 shiny white people show up. And they're looking all around your property uninvited. And they got a stack of paperwork and official pens. These are the best white pens in the world. And they tell you with winning fervor that your property is worth $8 million. And this makes you happy. Wow, isn't that great? So the white people say, so we're awarding you with a 30-year mortgage plus taxes, and you can send all the money to our address. Isn't that great? So you take their official pens because you're silly and you're letting them dictate the terms. You take their official pens and you sign every one of their terms and conditions. This makes you feel good because, see, what you've done now is that you've shown the white people that you're just as good as they are. You got everything. You got blue contacts. You straightened your hair. You know, you put on a suit. You put scope in your mouth and you think you're awesome. And you're like, see, look at me signing all your paperwork. And everybody around you is like, man, I don't know why you did it. You already own the house. But you said to the people, say, look, the white people said that the black people down the block, they signed the paperwork and they point to the property and, you know, it's like this is some apartment buildings and some cars. And these people looking all stressed out and depressed. And you're wondering why and what was up with them. You know, they signed the paperwork. And so they came to me and they wanted me to sign the paperwork. I thought it was all good. So this is what happens. 30 years later, and you 30 years older, you finally finished paying off that $8 million property. And you're excited. You're broke, but you're excited. So you invite the rest of your family on over so y'all can have a barbecue. You're like, I finally finished. I am done paying this property. And so what happens? In the midst of your barbecue, those same white people, those shiny white people show up. And they're 30 years older. And they bring in a U-Haul truck as well as luggage. And you're like, what are you doing here? You got luggage in the U-Haul truck? What's going on? And they're like, we're moving in. This is ours. And you're like, what you mean I just paid off this mortgage? And they're like, why did you sign that? That was stupid. Man, you black people sure are inferior. And you're like, but I did everything I was supposed to do. And they're like, we know. We're $8 million richer. You broke. You can't even fight us as we come on through. We moving in. And you got to go. See, that's what happens when you let other people dictate the terms and conditions of who you are and what your principles are. You're giving them over all the credentials in the world to control your rule book. Now, nobody else is doing that. Jewish people ain't giving over the credentials and their terms to their rule book. Neither are gay people. Neither are Asian people. Nobody is giving over the terms and conditions. They're not signing that paperwork. Now, what did I get in trouble on with some of these malls, I will say? I got in trouble because I snatched that paperwork out their hands and told those shiny white people to get to stepping. And that's what everybody else is telling Dr. Laura to do. Get to stepping. We ain't going along with that crap no more. And she quit. There is a God. But then you got those black people and you got those white people who are sitting up there like, well, if we wouldn't say the N-word, this wouldn't be a problem. You're letting them dictate the terms.